Good day, everyone. Today, we delve into the pivotal moment in Philippine history, the Cavite Mutiny of 1872, through the lens of Governor-General Rafael Izquierdo. This event not only marked a significant uprising against Spanish rule, but also set the stage for the subsequent nationalist movements that ultimately led to Philippine independence. First, let us define mutiny. It is a rebellion against authority that comes from an old word, mutin, which means to revolt. So in the Cavite Mutiny, there would be an uprising of 200 Filipinos in Arsenal aiming to get rid of the Spanish government, which can still be considered as one of the most significant historical accounts in Philippine history. Rafael Geronimo Cayetano Izquierdo y Gutierrez, or knowingly Governor-General Rafael Izquierdo, was born on September 30, 1820 in Santander, Spain. He served as a Governor-General of the Philippines from April 4, 1871 to January 8, 1873. He was the general during the Cavite Mutiny, which led to 41 million execution, including the three priests Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora. Like Duterte, he was famous for his use of iron fist or kamay na bakal type of government, contradicting the liberal government of his predecessors Carlos Maria de la Torre y Navacerrada. Governor-General Rafael Izquierdo reported to the Spanish Minister of War dated on Manila, January 23, 1872, where he blamed the Cavite Mutiny on the native clergy, some local residents, intellectuals, and even El Eco Filipino, a Madrid-based reformist newspaper, where he calls the military mutiny an insurrection, an uprising, and a revolution. The insurrection was motivated and prepared by the native clergy, mestizos, and native lawyers, and by those known here as abogadillos. Some are residents of Manila, others are from Cavite, and some from the nearby provinces. This was to carry out their criminal projects, and instigators protested against the injustice of the government. This was inspired by the injustice of the government in obtaining provinces for their tobacco crops and other products. They encouraged the rebellion by protesting what they called the injustice of obliging the workers in the Cavite arsenal to pay tribute starting on January 1 of 1872 and to render personal service from which they were formerly exempted. They take advantage of Indios' ignorance by making use of superstitions and made them believe that the chief of state or the Hari will minister. Furthermore, they used Christianity as a means to persuade the Indios, saying that God is with them, and those who would not revolt, they would kill immediately. They took advantage of the ignorance of the Indios. To those who revolted, they offered the wealth of the Spaniards and of the regular clergy, employment and ranks in the army, and to this effect, they said that 15 native battalions would be created, in which the soldiers who revolted would have jobs as officers and chiefs. The lawyers and abogadillos would direct the affairs of government, of the administration, and of justice. Padre Jose Burgos or Padre Jacinto Zamora, both parish priests of San Pedro of Manila, were great probabilities to be the head of the government. Although it was not yet clear if they would be establishing a monarchy or republic because Indians have no words in their language to describe this type of government. All the Spaniards, including the friars, would be executed except for the women, and their belongings confiscated. Foreigners would be respected. This uprising has roots, and with them were affiliated to a great extent the regiments of the infantry and the artillery, many civilians, and a large number of mestizos, Indios, and some ilustrados from the provinces. Moreover, the regiment of artillery and infantry would seize the capital of Fort Santiago. The revolution set fire to the district of Tondo, where they created a huge fire. The rebels were participated by 500 natives, led by pardoned leader Camerino and an artillery detachment from the port of San Felipe, where they would find arms and ammunition. They would fire cannons to inform the rebels of Cavite of their success. Rebels in Cavite will make a signal by setting up lanterns. However, the civilians and Bacoor failed due to the vigilance of the Spanish Navy that had placed there a gunboat and armed vessels. Loyalists went to arrest the parish priest of Bacoor and newspapers were solicited. He mentioned that the uprising should have started in Manila at midnight, abetted by Cavite rebels. However, Caviteños allegedly mistook the signal and went ahead of time. In 1869, the instigators planned to carry out an uprising, but due to the earthquake in 1862, it was not executed. Governor General Rafael Esquerdo files a confidential report number 113 regarding the prohibition of the founding of the School of Arts and Trades in Manila. He then stated that in Manila, a junta or center existed. This junta or center was inspired from Madrid, where newspapers like El Eco Filipino were sent in the Philippines from Madrid. Izquierdo assured that he will do everything to put down and punish any uprising. In El Eco Filipino 1, he stated that, as an in case of my worthy predecessors, I have continuously received anonymous letter, but because I was confident that I could put down any uprising and rebellion, I gave no credit in order not to cause alarm. So what happened to the three priests Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora? Fun fact! They were punished using the garrote, but later on proven that they do not belong to the Cavite Mutiny. However, this was still done in order to prevent the motivation against the Spaniards. In contrast, their death awakens the heart of many Filipinos to end the maltreatment of the Spanish government. Their remains were buried with no names, and as a result, Filipino historians had a hard time finding them. In 1998, remains were found in Paco Cemetery, believing that it was the three priests. But continuous study up to now was still being done to confirm the remains. Padre Gomez was 73 years old, Padre Zamora was 37 years old, and Padre Burgos was 35 years old when they were executed. Even Dr. Jose Rizal was awakened by the death of the three martyrs, which led him to write his second novel, El Filibusterismo. Thank you so much for having me. Until next time. Thank you so much for having me. Until next time. Thank you so much for having me. Until next time. Thank you so much for having me. Until next time.